His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa sent a cable of condolences to His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq of Oman following the passing of His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed. On the cable, His Majesty praised the achievements and contributions of the deceased and prayed to Allah the Almighty to rest his soul in peace and grant his family patience and solace. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa sent a cable of condolences to His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq of Oman following the passing of His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed. The National Security Advisor and Royal Guard Commander, Lieutenant General His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa conveyed the condolences of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa to the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, to the family of the Bahraini woman who passed away as a result of Iran's hostile aggression, as His Highness offered his condolences to the family of the deceased. The commander of the Royal Guard Special Operations, Colonel His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, also offered his condolences. Their Highnesses were accompanied by the capital governor Sheikh Khalid bin Mahmoud Al Khalifa. His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad offered his deepest condolences to the family of the deceased, expressing hope that her soul may rest in peace and that her family may be granted patience and solace. His Highness affirmed the solidarity of the people of Bahrain with the family of the deceased, wishing for the continued security and stability of Bahrain under the leadership of His Majesty the King. Bahrain Defense Force air defense systems have continued to intercept successful waves of Iranian terrorist attacks with sustained effectiveness. Since the commencement of hostilities, BDF air defenses have intercepted and destroyed 112 missiles and 186 drones targeting the Kingdom of Bahrain. The BDF General Command commended the exceptional combat readiness and operational excellence demonstrated by the personnel in defense of the Kingdom and affirmed that the skies of Bahrain remain protected. The General Command urges all members of the public to exercise the utmost caution for their personal safety, to keep clear of affected sites and any suspicious objects, to refrain from filming military operations or photographing debris locations, and to avoid circulating unverified information. The public is advised to rely exclusively on official sources for information, updates and alerts. The General Command further affirmed that the use of ballistic missiles and drones to target civilian sites and private properties constitutes a flagrant violation of international humanitarian law and the United Nations Charter. These discriminate attacks represent a direct threat to regional peace and security. The Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, the SDIA, held its regular session chaired by its President Sheikh Abdurrahman bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Khalifa. The Council congratulated His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, as well as the government and people of Bahrain and the Arab and Islamic nations on the occasion of the last 10 days of the holy month of Ramadan. The Council commended the address delivered by His Majesty the King on the occasion of the last 10 days of Ramadan, noting its call to uphold the values of true religion and adhere to its principles and beliefs, ethics and tolerance in a manner that promotes compassion, solidarity and humane unity. The Council highlighted His Majesty's assurance that Bahrain continues its approach based on sound judgment and moderation, supported by strong national unity and a spirit of faith that embraces different religions and beliefs within a harmonious and civilized society. The Council also commended the meeting held by His Royal Highness with the SDIA President and members, as well as several religious scholars at the Ahmed Al-Fatih Islamic Center. The Council lauded His Royal Highness's call to promote moderation and tolerance and to reinforce the values of Islam that strengthen societal awareness and national belonging during the blessed days of Ramadan. The Council condemned the attacks carried out by Iran against Bahrain, the GCC states, Jordan and other countries, describing them as unjustified attacks targeting residential areas, civilian infrastructure, energy facilities and water desalination plants, which resulted in civilian casualties and injuries. The Council also commended the courage of the Bahrain Defense Force and the efficiency of the air defense systems in confronting the attacks, expressing appreciation for the vigilance and preparedness of military, security and civil authorities in protecting the kingdom and safeguarding its security. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif Al-Zayani, held a telephone call with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Oman, Badr al-Busaidi. The Minister of Foreign Affairs expressed Bahrain's strong condemnation of the blatant Iranian missile attack on the port of Salalah in Oman, which resulted in a fire in the port's fuel tanks. He affirmed Bahrain's solidarity with the Sultanate and support for all measures taken to protect the security and stability and ensure the safety of its citizens and residents. He emphasized the unity and solidarity of the GCC states in the face of these unjustified attacks targeting residential areas and civilian facilities which endanger the safety of citizens and residents. He wished Oman and his people security and peace. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif Al-Zayani, held a telephone call with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Egyptian Expatriates of Egypt, Dr. Badr Abdelati. During the call, the two ministers reviewed the latest regional developments, including the ongoing Iranian missile attacks targeting infrastructure and civilian facilities in Bahrain and other states of the GCC. They also discussed avenues of cooperation and joint coordination between the two countries with regard to the work of the UN Security Council in light of Bahrain's non-permanent membership for the 2026-2027 term. The two sides emphasized the importance of continued consultations to mobilize international support on regional and international issues under consideration by the Council, particularly with regard to the Iranian attacks against the countries of the GCC. The two ministers also exchanged views on a number of issues of mutual interest. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif Al-Zayani, held a telephone conversation with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, during which they discussed developments in the region. They discussed the strong historical ties and friendship between Bahrain and Russia and the ongoing efforts to strengthen and enhance these relations across various fields to serve their mutual interests. They also discussed the latest regional developments, including the ongoing war in the region and its repercussions on regional security and stability, international peace and security, and the danger it poses to energy security, food supplies, maritime navigation in the Arabian Gulf, and international trade. The two sides also discussed the existing cooperation and coordination between their countries within the United Nations Security Council during the Russian Federation's permanent membership and Bahrain's non-permanent membership for the years 2026-2027 regarding regional and international issues before the Council. They emphasized the importance of continuous consultation between the two countries to promote international peace and security. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Latif Al-Zayani, received telephone calls from a number of counterparts of several countries who expressed their solidarity with Bahrain and their condemnation of the Iranian missile attacks against the kingdom. They also expressed their support for the measures undertaken by Bahrain to safeguard its security, stability, and the safety of its people. The ministers conveyed their condolences and sympathies to the victims of these attacks, wishing the injured a speedy recovery, and expressed their wishes for the Kingdom of Bahrain and its people continued security, peace, and stability. Dr. Zayani received calls from Australia's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Senator Penny Wong, Canada's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Anita Anand, Guinea's Minister of Foreign Affairs, African Integration and Guineas Abroad, Dr. Murisanda Koyate, and Malaysia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dato Seri Utama Haji Muhammad Haji Hassan. The foreign minister expressed his appreciation to the ministers for their condemnation of the Iranian missile attacks against the Kingdom of Bahrain, which targeted a number of civilian sites and resulted in fatalities, serious injuries, and significant damage to civilian property. He also expressed his gratitude for the sentiments of solidarity conveyed towards the kingdom and for the support of the measures undertaken to safeguard Bahrain's security and stability, wishing their countries continued security, stability, and peace. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif Al-Zayani, welcomed the adoption by the UN Security Council of a historic resolution condemning the reprehensible Iranian attacks that targeted Bahrain and a number of Arab countries. He affirmed that this resolution reflects a firm international position rejecting these unlawful attacks and embodies the international community's commitment to protecting the sovereignty and territorial integrity of states, safeguarding regional security and stability, and preserving international peace and security. Dr. Zayani explained that the Security Council's adoption of the draft resolution submitted by Bahrain on behalf of the GCC member states and Jordan, in coordination with other countries and co-sponsored by 135 states, received the largest number of supporting countries in the history of Security Council resolutions. He noted that this reflects the kingdom's key role in defending the security of the region and the interests of its people, and further reinforces Bahrain's standing as a responsible voice representing the aspirations of Arab and Islamic countries. The foreign minister affirmed that the adoption of the Security Council resolution in response to the Bahraini initiative embodies the diplomatic approach of His Majesty the King and the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He noted that this approach reflects a balanced foreign policy grounded in firm adherence to the purposes and principles of the UN Charter, respect for the rules and institutions of international legitimacy, and efforts to spare the region the risks of escalation and prevent it from descending into cycles of tension and instability. He added that the resolution sends a clear and unified message from the international community rejecting Iranian missiles and drone attacks and the targeting of civilian lives and civilian objects, including residential areas, airports, energy facilities, infrastructure, and maritime navigation. Such actions constitute a clear violation of international law, international humanitarian law, and represents a serious threat to international peace and security. He further described these attacks as heinous and unjustified, particularly in light of the sustained efforts undertaken by the GCC states and several countries in the region to resolve the Iranian crisis through dialogue and peaceful means. Dr. Zayani also underscored the importance of the resolution's call upon Iran to immediately and unconditionally cease all attacks against neighboring countries and peaceful populations, including those through the use of proxies, and to fully comply with its obligations under international law, including international humanitarian law, particularly with regard to the protection of civilians and civilian objects during armed conflicts. The resolution also stressed the need to ensure the security of vital maritime corridors, foremost among them the Strait of Hormuz and Bab al-Mandeb. The foreign minister expressed Bahrain's deep appreciation for the positions taken by countries within the Security Council and other UN member states in support of Bahrain's sovereignty, security, and stability. He affirmed that the adoption of this historic resolution reflects the unity of the international community in supporting the sovereignty, territorial integrity, and political independence of Gulf and Arab states, and in rejecting any threat to their security and stability. In concluding his statement, Dr. Zayani affirmed Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty, the directives of His Royal Highness, together with the efficiency of its defense and security forces, the unity and solidarity of its people, and the support of its partners and allies, will continue with determination to confront challenges and strengthen constructive international cooperation in order to achieve a more secure, stable, and prosperous future for the people of the region and the world. The United Nations Security Council adopted a resolution submitted by Bahrain on behalf of the GCC member states and Jordan, condemning the blatant Iranian aggression against countries of the region and calling on Iran to immediately cease its attacks, including the use of militias. The resolution was adopted during a voting session convened at the request of Bahrain in its capacity as a member of the Security Council and as chair of the 46th session of the Supreme Council of the GCC. The move came as part of intensive Bahraini, Gulf, and Jordanian diplomatic efforts at the international level, which resulted in the adoption of Resolution 2817. The resolution also received broad support from the wider international community beyond the Security Council, with 135 countries formally sponsoring the draft resolution, making it the most widely supported Security Council resolution by UN member states in the organization's history. The resolution contains three main elements: a strong worded condemnation of the blatant Iranian aggression, which constitutes a violation of international law and a serious threat to international peace and security, a call on Iran to cease attacks against innocent civilians and civilian targets, a demand that Iran halt all hostile provocative actions, including the use of proxies, and condemnation of Iran's deliberate targeting of innocent civilians and civilian objects, including vital infrastructure such as airports, energy facilities, and commercial centers, as well as attacks and threats against the Strait of Hormuz and the right of international navigation. The Undersecretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for Consular and Administrative Affairs, Ambassador Talal Al-Ansari, chaired the extraordinary meeting of the consular sectors of the Gulf Cooperation Council member states, which was held via video conference. The meeting was convened in implementation of the directives of the Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the GCC member states during their 50th extraordinary ministerial meeting to discuss means to unify and coordinate the consular efforts provided to citizens of the GCC states in the aftermath of the blatant Iranian aggression against the GCC countries. The consular measures undertaken by the GCC states were reviewed. Discussions also addressed mechanisms to enhance joint consular support for citizens of the GCC countries, in addition to agreeing on the formation of a joint working group at the level of director of the consular sectors aimed at boosting coordination and integrating efforts among the GCC states. The delegation of Bahrain at the meeting was headed by head of the Consular Services Sector, Ambassador Ibrahim Al-Muslimani. The Ministry of Interior announced that the General Directorate of Criminal Investigations and Forensic Science arrested 4 Bahrainis and identified a fifth who is at large abroad for espionage activities with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, through terrorist elements located in Iran. Their names are Murtaza Hussein Awal, 25 years old, Ahmed Isa Al-Haiki, 34 years old, Sarah Abdel Nabi Marhoun, 36 years old, Lias Salman Mirza, 22 years old, and Ali Muhammad Hassan Al-Sheikh, 25 years old, at large abroad. Investigations revealed that the first arrestee, acting on organizational instructions and with the assistance of others, used high-resolution photography equipment to photograph and record coordinates of vital and important locations in Bahrain. This information was then transmitted via encrypted software to the IRGC. Legal proceedings have been taken and the arrested individuals have been referred to the public prosecution. The Ministry of Interior reassured citizens and residents in the area surrounding the fuel tank attack site in Bahrain Governorate that they can resume their normal lives and open their windows. The ministry expresses its gratitude for their cooperation and adherence to the instructions issued by the relevant authorities. Civil defense teams have successfully contained the fire caused by Iranian aggression, and the necessary cooling operations are currently being carried out. Chief of Police Lieutenant General Tariq bin Hassan Al-Hassan paid a field visit to the fuel storage site at a facility in Bahrain Governorate that was targeted by a blatant Iranian aggression in order to review the measures taken as part of the ongoing efforts of the Ministry of Interior to protect the security of the homeland and the safety of citizens and residents. The Chief of Police lauded the support and care given by His Majesty the King to the national security system, stressing that His Majesty's firm approach to safeguarding the security of the homeland and protecting citizens and residents is the cornerstone of national efforts to face various challenges and promote stability. He pointed to the keen follow-up by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister in consolidating the foundations of security and stability and supporting the various national agencies to perform their duties to the fullest. The Chief of Police noted the directives of the Minister of Interior and his constant keenness to continuously follow up on all events and deal with their repercussions with professionalism and expertise, in addition to his interest in enhancing national unity and consolidating national awareness in facing various challenges. The Chief of Police praised the efforts of the members of the Bahrain Defense Force and its valiant units and their dedication and devotion in promoting or performing their noble national mission in defense of the homeland and its civilizational march, as well as the security of its honorable citizens, with high spirit of determination, affirming that they have been and will remain the best to rely on in protecting the homeland and preserving its gains. The Chief of Police also noted the significant role played by the civil defense personnel and all members of the Ministry of Interior in responding quickly and efficiently to field reports, reflecting the level of readiness and professionalism of the security agencies in protecting lives and property and maintaining the security and stability of the homeland. In light of regional developments, Bahrain continues to deal with updates through an integrated national system that operates around the clock and ensures the protection of the kingdom's security and stability and the continuity of various services for citizens and residents. More on this report.
In light of regional developments, the Kingdom of Bahrain has proven to be a model for crisis management through an integrated national system based on preparedness and coordination among state institutions. Since the beginning of this crisis, the relevant authorities quickly activated national response plans to ensure the security and stability of the kingdom and the continuity of essential services for citizens and residents. Vital sectors have demonstrated an advanced level of preparedness, with hospitals and health centers continuing to provide their services as normal, with medical facilities and qualified personnel available to deal with any case. Education also continues without interruptions through the implementation of flexible teaching methods for students. Markets remain stable, with basic commodities and necessities available as normal, alongside the continuation of commercial activities and services in various sectors. Security and military readiness also played an important role in enhancing stability, as security agencies and defense forces continue to perform their duties with high efficiency to protect the security of the kingdom and the safety of society. The relevant authorities also ensured continuous communication with citizens and residents through media briefings and awareness-raising guidelines as part of an approach based on transparency and providing society with up-to-date information. These efforts have reassured society as daily life continues normally and work, studies, and various activities continue without disruption. This experience reflects the Kingdom of Bahrain's ability to manage crises efficiently through the readiness of its institutions and the integration of their efforts.
The Central Bank of Bahrain affirmed that the kingdom's banking and financial sector continues to operate at all the highest levels of readiness amid the current regional developments and the repercussions of the Iranian aggression taking place in the region. More in this report.
The banking and financial sector in the Kingdom of Bahrain continues to operate at full capacity without interruption, despite the current regional circumstances. The Central Bank of Bahrain affirmed that since the onset of the situation, it has maintained heightened oversight, coordinating closely with banks, insurance companies, and financial institutions across the sector to ensure the uninterrupted delivery of financial services. All financial institutions continue to demonstrate strong operational readiness and business continuity, reflecting the depth of preparation and regulatory discipline that defines Bahrain's financial sector. The CBB added that Bahrain's banking sector continues to record strong financial soundness indicators, with capital adequacy and liquidity ratios remaining above regulatory requirements. Financial systems across the kingdom, including payment systems, also continue to operate efficiently and securely. The CBB further indicated that physical and cybersecurity measures across all financial institutions are operating at the highest levels of readiness as part of a comprehensive and integrated security framework for the financial services sector. The CBB reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining monetary and financial stability in the kingdom and ensuring the efficient and continuous delivery of financial services across Bahrain, thereby reinforcing confidence in the financial sector and consolidating the kingdom's position as a leading regional financial center.
The Arab Parliament expressed its full solidarity and complete support for Bahrain in the face of blatant Iranian attacks, which constitute a grave violation of its national sovereignty and a direct threat to its security, stability, and the safety of its citizens. In a statement, it also expresses condemnation of these blatant Iranian attacks, which reflect an unacceptable approach of escalation and hostile practices aimed at destabilizing regional security and stability, and constitute a flagrant violation of the principles of the Charter of the United Nations and the rules of international law. The Arab Parliament also affirmed its full support for Bahrain and its complete backing for all measures taken by Bahrain to protect its national security and the capabilities of its people and to preserve its sovereignty and territorial integrity, considering this a legitimate right guaranteed by all international laws and conventions. The Arab Parliament stressed that the continuation of these provocative Iranian violations and unacceptable attacks constitute a threat to Arab national security, undermines opportunities for regional stability, and calls for a firm and responsible Arab and international position to put an end to these violations. It affirmed that Bahrain will remain secure and stable under the wise leadership of His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, calling for Bahrain to remain a treasure and a source of support for the Arab nation.
Dear citizens and residents, when hearing the first warning sirens while driving, kindly do the following. Continue driving and clear the left lane to open the way for emergency vehicles, civil defense, ambulances, traffic, security patrols to perform their duties. Listen to official media channels. Seek shelter in the nearest building or take cover in non-exposed areas until the danger has passed. Dear citizens and residents, if you're at home or at work, kindly do the following. Be calm, don't go out except for essentials, and as per instructions and guidelines issued by competent authorities. When you hear the second warning siren when the danger ends and situations are back to normal, the following procedures should be considered. Do not gather near affected areas for your safety and avoid hindering civil defense saving lives operations. Do not pick up objects thrown on the ground even if they are familiar to you.